Hi everyone, here is some quick information about the upcoming election. Early voting starts on Monday. Election day is on November 5th. The City Council has been working on reviewing our charter, which is our official city document. It's like the city constitution with all the rules and regulations that council must follow. Since February, the charter should be looked at and updated at least every 2 years after the state legislature meets. However, it hasn't been looked at since 2005, so it's been 19 years since it has been amended. Since then, the Texas legislature has met many times and has made many changes. Some of those changes make portions of our city charter illegal, and we need to remove those from the city charter. We're going to have a town hall meeting on Wednesday, October 23rd at the Civic Center at 5:30 to discuss these propositions that you will see on the ballot when you go to vote. I wanted to quickly go through some of those propositions because they have to be written in a certain type of language that we like to call legalese according to the state of Texas, and that's what is put on the ballot. There are no explanations as to what the legal language means, and it can be quite confusing. However, on the City of Alpine website, the very first page, we have this document that I have here for us to look through today that you can go, and you can even print that out and take it to the polling station with you. It makes it much easier to understand. So Proposition A, there are 9 propositions. Proposition A makes the council have to review the city charter at least every 5 years so that it can stay in compliance with all the updates to state and federal laws. The City of Alpine's rules and regulations fall under the state. The state rules and laws supersede that. And whether we like it or not, federal laws do too. Sometimes states will take laws that are made at the federal level to court for the judicial system to work it out, but basically it is state and federal. So this makes the city council have to review it every 5 years so that we don't go another 19 years with an outdated document. Proposition B, so a lot of these are bookkeeping, is something that is now illegal that's in our charter. So we want to vote yes to Proposition A and yes to Proposition B. And this is where, once upon a time, cities had the ability to annex property without the permission of property owners. However, in 2019, the state legislature made that illegal with House Bill 347. So we just want to strike from our charter that we can annex without property owners' permission because it's not legal anymore. So we want to vote yes to be able to strike that out. Same thing for Proposition C. It's another bookkeeping proposition. House Bill 347, which is the same one as we discussed in Proposition B, in 2019 removed the city's ability to annex under specific circumstances. So once again, we want to take that out of our charter because it is no longer legal. So we want to vote yes to remove that from the charter. Proposition D is another bookkeeping one. When the original city charter was written back in 1993, whoever wrote it interchangeably used the words wards and districts. Sometimes they call them districts, sometimes they call them wards. Well, precedent has been set since then that we call them wards, and that is what you'll see on your voter registration form. So we want to clean up our city charter and remove the term districts once and for all so that we will continue to officially call them wards, that there's no question that they are wards. So we want to vote yes for Proposition D to remove the term district. This will not change what ward you're in, who your council representative is, or where you vote. It's just simply bookkeeping. Proposition E is for the terms of city council members. Currently, city council members can serve for 2 years, and they can do that up to 3 times for a total of 6 years. What we have seen is that there's a backlog of getting things completed in the city, and that's because council can turn over to where you have a new majority of new council members every 2 years. This happened in this past election, so May of 2024. We have a completely new council with a majority of new council members. If they weren't on board with what the other council was working on, then those projects get dropped. That's how things like the wastewater treatment plant or street repairs or adding generators to the wells or anything such as that ends up dropped, because when a new council comes in, they may not want to continue those same projects. So instead of 2 years, we just want to change it to where it's 3 years, and you can only serve 2 3-year terms, so still it's just 6 years. So you can't have a council member or a mayor in there for more than 6 consecutive years. They would have to sit out for at least a year after they've reached their term limit before they can run again. This also helps because when you have a new council member come in, the first year they're trying to learn. There's a lot to learn: rules, regulations, laws, what their duties are. They have to study the city charter to understand what they can and can't do. And then if they're going to run again, that second year they're busy trying to campaign to run again. So that also prohibits things from getting accomplished. So we just want to change it. Instead of 2 years for 3 times, we want to change it to 3 years for 2 times. Moving on to Proposition F. This is to provide clarification. It's just another bookkeeping thing, that the mayor or mayor pro tem only votes in the case of a tie, which is currently the case. And we just want to make sure that language is very clear, that they only vote in case of a tie, and that they can vote in favor of whatever that article is, or that proposition is, or that action item is, or they can vote against it. They don't have to vote for it or against it, but they have that option, and they only vote in the case of a tie. So we also want to vote yes for this. Proposition G, we've had a couple of instances where a council member passed away or another council member has needed to resign. So we want to clarify that council can appoint an individual to serve if less than a year remains on the term. If this basically is bookkeeping again, it helps to clarify that they can do that only if less than a year remains on the term. So we want to vote yes for that. Moving on to Proposition H, City Attorney. This just clarifies in our document that it doesn't necessarily have to be one lawyer, but it can be a law firm. Right now, the City of Alpine has a very good law firm that specializes specifically in municipal law and city law, and that is their only focus. Proposition I is the last proposition, and this just is more clarification. The mayor appoints the municipal court judge, and right now the mayor serves a 2-year term, but if the other proposition is approved where they serve a 3-year term, then we just need it to say that the municipal judge will run concurrently with the mayor, whether that's 2 years, if it remains that way, if that proposition fails, or 3 years. So that is just to clarify the charter again. All right, I'm going to go back and make sure that we covered all of these. Okay, so we talked about Proposition G, F. All right, so please vote yes for all these amendments so that we can make the changes to the charter. It's been a long time, and as a citizenry, we want to have an updated charter. We want to be current. We want to show that we are involved and that we do this correctly. So once again, the city charter is the constitution for the city, and on the city website, cityofalpine.com, you will find these explanations. The way the ballot language has to be written is per the state of Texas, and that can be very confusing to where you don't understand. Remember, on Wednesday, we will have just a town hall, which is a relaxed, laid-back meeting where we go over these charter amendments. Please reach out to me or your council member if you have any questions, or the city manager or the city secretary. Remember to go vote. Early voting starts October 23rd, and vote yes for all of the amendments.